the Protestants have made a cottage industry of from Protestant Christian music. They're huge on drums and electric guitars, and it looks like the parallel of secular music, other than it has Christian lyrics. Why would you say, or how could you explain to the audience, what would be the difference if somebody, like if a Catholic says, well, sacred music is sacred music. You got Gregorian chant and you got Protestant praise and worship. It's all the same. It all glorifies God.
Right.
How would you explain to somebody that there is a difference in both modalities of music? How would you explain to them?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a different type of music for almost any type of event or occasion in life. And I have a funny story. I had a professor in college. I hope this doesn't scandalize anyone. He asked the class in the beginning of our class on the Bible. He asked, "What kind of music would you play to seduce a woman?" And we're all just like, confused. Why would what does that mean? But his greater point was that there's a certain type of music for that. There's a certain type of music for patriotism. There's a different type of music for church, different type of music for a party. I think he said to seduce your wife. So just to
I'm glad he clarified
lessen the
that.
scandal there.
Exactly.
And that point always stuck with me, that there's a different type of music for every scenario in life. And if you want something to really lift your mind to the transcendent, you see this need for a music that's just beyond the secular realm. Have any of you guys seen the movie Interstellar?
I have not.
No.
It's a new sci-fi movie, but Hans Zimmer did the soundtrack for it. And the main instrument for the movie is the organ. And in the interview of why he chose the organ for the movie is, the reasoning he gave was that the organ has a sense of the transcendence, and that instrument alone could express the transcendence of the universe, which is a striking point for a secular Hollywood musician to make.
That's incredible. True.
George, I'm going to share something with you. You could share with your audiences when you go out and lecture and perform, that Gregorian chant is used very effectively in exorcism teams around the country. When a priest is praying over the possessed, and he has his team around him, they'll usually play Gregorian chant very softly in the background, and it just provides a lot more gunpowder for the prayers. The prayers are more, they're sharper and more precise when you have Gregorian chant playing in the background. I just want to let you know, they don't play praise and worship.
No,
they don't pray. They pray Gregorian chant during exorcisms.
Yeah. George, one more comment. Father Fessio shared this with me at a conference. Adoramus. Yeah, Jesse knows what I'm going to talk. That Gregorian chant is very similar to what our Jewish folks did. So we got it from some of the chants are from our Jewish brothers. Is that a fair statement?
That you hit home right there. Chant goes all the way back to the Jewish temple, and there's a fair amount of evidence for that now.
Yeah.
And we can go into the reasoning behind that. I don't know if we have time on the show.
Take a couple minutes. Go ahead, because this is important.
We got a few minutes.
Go ahead, brother.
This is good.
Here's one short argument. During the foundation of Israel, you have these different Jewish groups throughout the world coming back and uniting in Israel. And one thing they brought back with them were chants. And there was a musician at the time looking at all the different chants, and he saw that some of them were common chants. Now, the only point of beforehand that they were all unified and participating in the same liturgy was in 70 AD, before the fall of the temple. I can even sing that chant for you right now. I don't know if it'll get across.
Come on, do it. I want it.
Sure,
Play.
yeah.
Hear it.
This is the Hebrew beginning of Psalm 114. Etzet Yisrael mi Mitzrayim, bet Yaakov me'am loetz. And This chant is also kept in the Roman tradition, in the Latin "In exitu Israel," which is for Psalm 114, and I'll sing that as well. You'll see the commonality in the melody. In exitu Israel de Egipto, de populo barbaro. I don't know how well that's going to get across the radio.
It's beautiful, beautiful.
You just see the commonality between the Jewish chant of the temple and Gregorian chant now. And there's other examples that you can go through. In fact, even yesterday we're learning actually the Psalm 148 in Hebrew. It's very striking and beautiful text and beautiful chant. We're spanning millennia at this point with chant, and it's definitely something we don't want to miss in our liturgies, and we need to bring this back. There's no other option. We need to bring it back.
Yeah. I agree.
Terry, I remember the story. Father Fessio said 20 years ago at an Adoremus conference that he called up
the Jewish
Hebrew University over in Los Angeles and in New York. He talked to their professors and the Jewish professors in their music department, and he asked them, he said, hey, I'm doing a study on how did the Holy Family, how did they pray? The Hebrew professors in New York and LA told Father Fessio, said, have you heard of your Gregorian chant, Father? He goes, yeah. He goes, that's the way Jesus, Mary, and Joseph prayed. He goes, what? He goes, yes. He goes, you Catholics took your Gregorian chant from Jewish chant. You guys just put Latin words instead of Hebrew, but that's the way Jesus, Mary, and Joseph would have prayed. Just listen to your Gregorian chant. I'll never forget that story.
That's a great, it rang a bell.
Years ago.
That's awesome. George, one more time, how can people contact? We got about 30 seconds to a minute. Go ahead.
Sure. Floriani Sacred Music at gmail.com or floriani.org. We're on Spotify. Our podcast is Chant School Podcast, and you can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Those are just some basic ways.
Awesome. Well, I'm just glad to see young men like yourself and others bringing back some of the traditional teachings of our church, especially when it comes to sacred music, because as I demonstrate, the documents of the church are very clear on what we should have. The challenge has been implementing them, and guys like you and others are helping us do that. So I just want to thank you for that big commitment. You're helping Holy Mother of the Church.
What's good is people like George and his friends, the quartet, they're young guys. They're going to outlast all the liberals.
Of course.
And these guys are going to restore the church. Praise God.